Hey everybody, this is Brandon with RPG Overviews, and I'm going to be spoiling the adventure The Malevolent 7, a level 3 adventure by Bob Brinkman for Weird Frontiers role-playing game, and it's compatible with DCC RPG. I will have a link down in the description if you want to pick it up, and you can get it in PDF or print from DriveThruRPG. So, fantastic cover right here. I really like the colors of it. It's by an artist that you've probably seen before if you've looked at any other Weird Frontiers adventures. His name is Zon Dyer. The maps are by Dale Teigler. He's done a great job. And the interior art is by Marcin S., Christopher Torres, and Hamad Al-Najjar, and they all do a fantastic job. So let's go ahead and read the back of it. So this is a third level adventure by Bob Brinkman. The Malevolent 7 is a Weird Frontiers adventure designed for a group of 4 to 6 third-level trail hands, is intended for an established group of adventurers. I agree with that. Seeking resolution to a nightmare which foretells their deaths, the PCs must race against time to gain as many tools as they can to reduce the power of the Malevolent 7. Questioning the locals, confronting ancient mysteries, and even beseeching near-forgotten gods, the trail hands must prepare for one hell of a showdown. And that is very much true. Questioning the locals. That is what a lot of this adventure is going to be. So I thought, I would kind of break it down. I mean, yes, the art is great. All the art is just absolutely fantastic. This is a lot of the NPCs that's in it. Dale Teigler has done a fantastic job with this piece of art here. This map, it's map and art all in one. He's just done a great job. And the whole adventure is going to be set in this town of Bannock, which is in the Montana territory, as you can see right here. Again, great art. This is, that's Wild Bill Hickok, and that's Davis Tutt, and he's going to be the finger thief, which is a cool character. And so I thought, I'd break this all down for you. Bob's done a great job of giving you suggested music. There's judge's notes on run of the adventure, a background about what's happened. A lot of that, it's helpful, I think, for people to figure out exactly what's going on in this adventure. The history of the area, the history of the Fist of Ling, which is like this star that was hurled down from the heavens, and it destroyed a bunch of life here on Earth, and fragments of it are made of, they're lumps of solid gold, can be found in this town. There is this crossroads of destiny. Pretty much the ley lines kind of meet there at Bannock, and it's always been destined to draw the supernatural. And so what exactly is going on in this? Okay, so I'm not going to break down everything for you. You're going to have this handout, number one, okay? The adventurers are going to show up. The PCs are going to show up in Bannock. And then their first night, they're all going to have the same nightmare. And it's going to be this handout one, okay? And it's going to have these flashes of light and stuff. It's going to keep showing you different scenes. And it's in essence going to show you a bunch of different things that are going to allude to what you need to find in this adventure, or who you need to talk to, or important people in the adventure. And then at the end, you get killed. And so you all have that same dream, and you're all going to be like, whoa, we all had that same dream. That's really weird. That might actually be something that's going to tell us that it's coming true. So how do we stop that? And the way you're going to stop that is by investigating this town. So this adventure is different. It's an investigative adventure. Some people may or may not like that, because there's not going to be random encounters. There's not going to be you travel to here to there, and while you're there, there's this encounter that's going to happen. It's going to be creatures trying to kill you. It's not like that at all. And what Bob has done is has just he's dove into the deep end of the pool and decided to just make a very strong NPC interaction, role-playing experience with this adventure. And I think that's kind of really a tall feat to do. He really went that extra step and said, I'm going to do something kind of special here. And this may not be an adventure for everybody, but I think if your group is strong at role-playing, is strong at NPC interactions, don't just immediately start shooting and killing everything they come across they might disagree with. They're going to have an outrageously cool time, and they're going to really enjoy this adventure. Plus, there's some really neat NPCs, as you can see here, and it's going to give you a way to really roleplay them very interestingly, because a lot of these people are actually extremely powerful entities that have come together in Bannock because of the ley lines, because of what's going on with the story. Narlothotep is there as well. He's in a certain guise of a mountebank. You can see him. There's Wild Bill Hickok there. He is going to be Kind of a main character right here, this J. Carney Esquire, and he's got his patented black milk that he's selling. So if you look at the structure of the adventure, okay, you've got this handout. You're going to have the powers present in Bannock, and these are some real strong stuff here. The Fates are there, and Nyarlathotep is there. There is a sheriff who's undying. He cannot be killed. There is Yama, the Hindu god of death. There's a lot of other stuff too that's just very strong because they've all come together for this situation. So you're trying to find out why you're all having this dream. The NPCs that are around the town, a lot of them are powerful entities or representative of those entities. And so you're going to have stuff like this, like the Tinker's Cart, Jeremiah Wiggins here. And sometimes the map is a cool thing to reference because it's going to have he's right there. See, Wiggins, it says down there. Now, one thing I will say is while I enjoy this piece of art here, I had to kind of figure out exactly who these people were. Some of the descriptions of the people, their actual physical descriptions, I wish they were just a little bit more clear, a little bit, just one more little paragraph, or maybe on this piece of art, which I hate to cover it up with names, but it'd been cool to have just a little name here and there to let you know exactly who these people are, because the description sometimes for them is just not as strong as I would like for it to be, and it makes you question which ones are here. Now, some of them, yes, you're going to figure out exactly who they are. So what you'll do is you'll have like his Tinker's Cart here, and then it says what Jeremiah knows, and then he's going to break down all the things that you can role play, should you, of course, the players are good at role playing, they want to interact with these characters to get some information out of them. And that's what the whole adventure kind of does. You're going to have this redneck camp. You're going to have, they're called the Brotherhood. They want to foil Nyarlathotep's plans. So what do they know? You're going to have your stats should you want to try to attack them for some reason. This guy here, like this, what Jeremiah Wiggins knows, speaking of lying, his presence of Jeremiah Wiggins requires whip. He knows that when you're lying. So some of these characters just have they're just bigger than life, and that's very interesting. Because there's just little tweaks and stuff with them, with their backgrounds or who they represent. So each one of these different places, they're going to give you more information. You can actually go talk to this J. Carey Esquire here. And that is Nyarlathotep, and he's going to tell you what he knows a little bit, and he wants to kind of foil this guy's plan, because this is the Malevolent 7 right here. It's going to tell you about the backstory of him, the finger thief. Pretty much he got into a shootout with Wild Bill Hickok and died, but was brought back together by the black milk of J. Carey Esquire. It's patented, by the way. And it brought him back to life, so Wild Bill Hickok was not on trial for murder after that. They were like, well, you're free to go. The guy didn't get killed. He's fine. But he went away, and then he became a really nasty character. And he's got the tentacle beard, and he gets more powerful from the people that he kills in gunfights. He steals the trigger fingers of his victims, and he's overall, he's our big bad guy. And he's gotten a hold of these nasty characters with him as well, and they're coming back to Bannock pretty much to destroy the place and to kill you, obviously, in your dream. So that's all seems, there's a lot going on with that. So there's some Masons in there. There's these relics, and that's what that handout's going to kind of tell you. And some of the NPCs are going to tell you about that too, is that the relics are part, they're a big part of the story, because you don't know exactly when this fateful moment's going to happen when you're going to get killed. And so you're talking to the people. There's different items relics that you're going to be able to find, some of them very powerful. And they're going to give you abilities, but they'll also give you an ability that you can use against one of the Malevolent 7. In particular, they specifically for them, to stop them, to hinder them in some way during the big showdown at the very end of the adventure. So it says here, you're probably not going to get all of them, but you might be able to get a good bit of them. And that's going to be interesting to play this multiple times with people to see who can get what and how that affected the fight at the end. So I think that's very clever. And another thing Bob's done is he knows his history. A lot of the stuff, I looked it up, and a lot of the stuff that he writes about with the different characters and who they are, it checks out. The guy definitely knows historical type of stuff, with different types of religions and just history. Very impressive in that sense. And I would say, because of the way this is laid out with what these people know, this is actually an archangel. Remy, as he's known. And so, like, there's these strong characters. It's going to make someone running this game, a judge, a referee for this game. They're going to, I feel like to really give this adventure its all, you need to be strong in that, in just NPC interaction, coming up with good characters, bringing these characters to life, the way that they speak, the way that they carry themselves, because you're going to go from place to place all throughout this map here. And I love the little arrows telling you where these things are, because here's some of the items that you're going to find, and those are the things that are going to help you stop the Malevolent 7. So just a really neat investigative adventure, strong NPCs. There shouldn't be a whole bunch of combat throughout it unless you just piss somebody off, and in some cases that's going to get your ass kicked. Like I said, he's an angel, for crying out loud, so don't mess with him. And then some of them, they have their own motives, but they're not really out there trying to push it for you to do this, and we want y'all to do that. They're just kind of sitting back and watching. They're together. They may want to stop Nyarlathotep. Maybe they want to help him, but nothing too overtly against the PC, so that's interesting as well. The Skinner Saloon got some cool stuff going on for you. You got the Fates here, where you'll actually play some poker with them, and that could end up killing you with the Fates if you do something with them. It's a little bit of you can explore a little bit the way that this saloon is, but there's no like other maps or anything like that. There's no dungeon crawl. This is, really interacting with them, asking them questions. They have a lot. Pappy here has got a lot of answers that are going to help you. And they're kind of cryptic in his answers, but if you can figure them out, and it'll tell you exactly, what that means. Is that Nyarlathotep? Is that Henry Plummer? Is that the scales or the news, the items that you need to help you defeat the Malevolent 7? The sheriff's office is cool. This is the guy who cannot be killed. He also needs to be used. Something about him, which is interesting, and kind of macabre, actually, but with the getting an item. So it's a little bit of like a MacGuffin run, but it's not really, because each of these items signify something in their lore, and then in how the Malevolent 7 actually, how they work, and what they're about. Even the gallows here, there's some stuff you're going to go to the gallows. Great art, once again. And yeah, if you try to go against some of these people, they're probably going to hand you your life, and just crush you and just be dealt with you. So very cool stuff like that. Again, great art. Again, it just keeps going, scene after scene, locations you're going to go to, finding out information to let you know where the item is. Maybe you can go get it from those people, some of these people here that you see, these different kind of factions, and what that item's going to possibly do for you, who the Malevolent 7 are, kind of their history. And there is actually that Fist of Ling as well, right there, that cool piece of art. And again, that plays a big part of the story as well. And then you're going to come down to the showdown. Now, here's the thing. On the second night, they're going to come, hurling firebombs into the buildings. They're going to be just terrorizing the place. And this is where you're going to this adventure does require, I think, a strong judge. Someone that can really take hold of this adventure. Don't let it get away from you, and prepare for it. You need to really kind of read each of these different people and understand these different groups here that you're going to be talking to, and letting that information come out in a more organic way, not just reading these paragraphs and stuff. And then you're going to have the 7, okay? They ride on these hell steeds that can turn invisible. They can pass through doors and stuff like that. And then you're going to have each one of them. So there's Davis Tutt. He's right there, right? And he's the finger thief. He's got a bounty on him. It's going to tell you a little bit about him. And then his abilities that he has. Now, this is the thing here. This is a great piece of art by Torres right here. Just look at that. It's got them all right there. I want to make sure that's good in frame for y'all all to see. Look at that. That 2-page spread there. It looks fantastic. And you'll be able to read their description and figure out which one's which. This is a little bit easier than the first art of NPCs, but just a really cool piece of art right there. I love how it spreads across the 2 pages. So here's the thing. At the end, you're going to have this showdown. You're going to have the PCs versus these guys, right? Well, they're all strong. If they're not strong, they're busy. They've got abilities. So you're going to need to be able to manage that fight, that showdown fight that you're going to have with these guys. Hopefully you've got some of the relics that's going to hamper these guys and really, swing the power back in your favor, the work that you did is gonna help you out and be able to help you take down these guys. Because look at this, keeping track of their stats, their hit points, their abilities, not getting bogged down in that. That's something you really need to pay attention to should you run this adventure. And again, it's got some cool backgrounds about, what they're about, how they became what they are, because they're all either like undead or Tommyknockers or just weird. They're powerful, and they're going to give you a real run for your money. It does have the magical formula for that J. Carey Esquire's world-famous black milk. And then you've got the handout again that you can print out so it's not black, and that's helpful. And then you've got these handouts. Now, one thing I will say, these handouts are cool. They're very descriptive, obviously. They're narrative, a lot of them. I would try your best, because some of these are big. Like this one's a big one, handout 3. Try to paraphrase as much as you can a lot of this stuff. I find that players just start to not pay attention too much when you've got long handouts, or you'll be able to hand it to them, but they want you to, of course, Bob wants you to read it out to them as well. So maybe they can read along with you. I wouldn't do that. I would try to just paraphrase this as much as you can. And these handouts are going to be, a lot of these are stories that are told, or someone interacting with you, telling you about, what happened, what is happening while you're doing it, and giving you a lot of good information. All the handouts are good when it comes to finishing the adventure. So, and then we come to the end. So you're going to have this big shootout with them. And it's one thing I like, too, is that it's going to tell you a couple things here about what is going to happen at the end of the adventure should things happen. So if you have a shootout with them, the PCs are slain, what'll happen about that? Should the 7 win and it's burned down to the ground, what's going to happen to the Fist of Ling? They're stopped, but the town is lost. So different situations that may come of it, that's going to happen. They're going to tell you what's going to happen there. But it's a lot of cool stuff that could happen. It's not just one type of ending. And hopefully you'll be able to put these guys down and save the town as well. So there it is. That is the Malevolent 7, a very cool adventure. The only thing, like I said, I wish either that page had the characters' names on it so I could figure out exactly who these guys are, just so I can kind of match them up, or just a bit more description of their physical aspects so I can figure out who these people are on this piece of art here. But a very ambitious adventure that I think Bob has really pulled off if you like investigative adventures, especially in the Wild West, in Weird Frontiers. And of course, I even with my connection to Weird Frontiers, it's not a perfect product, but it is really, really good if you like investigative adventures that is not going to just railroad you down the path, and it's going to be something that you can really, really embrace the difference in the different characters, NPCs, the interactions, and then have a really cool shootout, which hopefully you'll be able to manage against all these guys right here. So there it is, the Malevolent 7. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it.